Yeah, it's
kind of cuts you
I
off,
think
and you're like, nope, that's it.
I think it helped. I remember one of the podcasts I went on. They had a whole Discord, and the entire Discord was nothing but inside jokes
Oh,
of like it's just because the people had been there for years, right? And there's just that interaction. It's one of those things that I'm just too busy. It's like because if we had like a Discord and we had like
well,
listeners of the show like drop in and we did polls, we did like conversations type of things, it'd be great. Just never really were able to kind of put that together.
no, I think we had remnants. Like I remember starting the Discord, but I'm like, there's so much maintenance
Oh
to
man.
go with it. So yeah, if we had more time, maybe I can put my kids in charge of it. Just be like, hey, moderate this, please.
There's something to that, honestly. Like it would depend on the kids and like where their knack is. But if they like social media, if they like discords and such, it's almost like, hey, can you make us big?
Yeah, there you go. Can you
Can
do
you blow?
the work? Make us viral? Can you make this go viral?
Can you blow? Why don't you just do a viral clip? Like, come on, help out, help
Yeah.
an old man out. But I think it would just come more naturally. Like I have interacted with more like younger people who in various work settings, and their ability to just parse and get something that would actually be meaningful social media is like so much better than my own. Like
Yeah.
I'm just old in that like regard. It's like, well, is this a good tweet? Is this an X? Is this a solid post?
I mean, I know we're calling ourselves old, but I also know that my kids would not know heads or tails of making a good clip because they have no social media at all. So
That's,
I wouldn't rely
that's
on them.
no. So that's again. So that's where it's just like years after they've been allowed to get on social media,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and perhaps if they're into the YouTube game or something like that, then it would be
Oh, then we
interesting.
do the
Oh my
we
goodness.
do the thumbnails with the
Oh yeah. I know. Yelling at
yeah,
clouds or whatever clips we're supposed to do.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But let's get this show started. Otherwise, listeners of the show know that I often will start with a poem about the conversation, but I ran across a clip that I found very profound for dads and just parents in general, and I wanted to play a bit of it. This is from Dr. Russell Barkley. He generally is a expert in the side of ADHD, but he gave a very impassioned speech some years ago, I believe, but just discussing how parents try to be engineers of their kids as opposed to shepherds, and how that turns into guilt and almost missing some of the enjoyment. So I thought for today's episode, we would play a clip from the doctor explaining that, as it's one that I really like to think back on sometimes, just for how to approach parenting and enjoy it a bit more.
Your child is born with more than 400 psychological traits that will emerge as they mature, and they have nothing to do with you. So the idea that you are going to engineer personalities and IQ and academic achievement skills and all these other things just isn't true. Your child is not a blank slate on which you get to write. The better view is that your child is a genetic mosaic of your extended family, which means this is a unique combination of the traits that run in your family line. I like the shepherd view. You are a shepherd. You don't design the sheep. The engineering view makes you responsible for everything that goes right and everything that goes wrong. This is why parents come to us with such guilt, more guilt than we've ever seen in prior generations, because parents today believe that it's all about them and what they do. And if they don't get it right, or if their child has a disability, they've done something wrong, when in fact the opposite is true. This has nothing to do with your particular brand of parenting. So I would rather that you stop thinking yourself as an engineer and step back and say, I am a shepherd to a unique individual. Shepherds are powerful people. They pick the pastures in which the sheep will graze and develop and grow. They determine whether they're appropriately nourished. They determine whether they're protected from harm. The environment is important, but it doesn't design the sheep. No shepherd is going to turn a sheep into a dog.
Just always, again, like I've come across that post a number of times. And the idea of being a shepherd to a unique individual as opposed to the engineer of what it will become really produces a more interesting vantage point on how to just enjoy the individual that your child is. So, little note, I think, to start the show. The adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old.
Each week, we try to show that just because he became a dad
Does not mean it's game over.
Welcome to the dog days of summer. We are rapidly finishing up. When are your kids in school, Jeff?
Next week. So not the week coming, the week after in September.
Mine are in this week.
That sucks.
It feels like a travesty. It feels like an absolute travesty. The thought of going back in August. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That hurts. Kind of good. I mean, I will say, like, I'm not looking forward to the grind of waking up and getting them out the door in some reasonable time, but
yeah, it's like school for dads now, right? Like, it's just like, oh no, gotta get back to the lunches and the routine, and I'm worried about the routine. I don't know if your kids are kind of ready for school, but mine are not, right?
No.
They're staying up late, they're gaming.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a problem.
Oh, they're gone buck wild. They're just like, they're savages. Okay. They have lost all civilization. Like, they're not ready for the world. Like, we're gonna put I might as well put clothing on like a groundhog and put it on the bus to be the same type of like benefit. Perfect. So teachers, man, they don't get paid enough. I hope things
no. Good luck to them. Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
This first week, I can't imagine. But that's where we're at, and wrapping up the week. So we will probably do it. I almost feel like taking. We've received some good reviews from listeners, and we would like to hear from you, like yay or nay. Should we keep the beers going? Obviously, Jeff and I do enjoy partaking. Continue to get a good suggestion from time to time. So if you want to keep it up, you can let us know at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. I could see us taking it through autumn because some really interesting autumn beers. Like it's usually summer of beer, but we did start late. So perhaps we stretch it a bit more into the fall beers this year.
You just want maybe we'll do some winter pumpkin spices.
Yeah, little sprinkling of cinnamon, perhaps a little nutmeg on that. And then you switch over to Christmas, a little peppermint.
I just remember we had what, pumpkin beers one time, and we were like, this is gonna go one way or the other.
I'd have to review the shows. I don't know that we ever found a pumpkin beer we like.
Don't think we did. So, there's always hope, though.
This is our year. This is our year.
That's right. Yeah.
Now this week, what was interesting on my side, it was a challenge for my wife, who delivered exceptionally. Like, she went above and beyond. I couldn't believe it. So show's coming up. She's out doing groceries. I'm at home with the kids, and she writes in, "Hey, do we need anything?" I'm like, you know what? I got a podcast. We're doing Summer of Beers. I need one for this week. Do me a favor. Go over to the beer section, and I don't want you to think about it. I don't want you to ask my opinion. I want you to just grab some cans that you think are interesting.
Okay.
That's it. That's the whole criteria.
Oof.
And man, she came back with some bangers. Like, they are so interesting. Like,
nice. All right.
Like 3 for 3. I don't know if they're good. But that's the part of the fun, isn't it?
All right.
So
it's like your own loot box, right? Your own little loot box going on.
Man. Oh, I was so happy. I was just absolutely pleased as Peach with her. That was amazing. So this week is actually like completely on theme as far as Gaming Dad podcast. So
perfect.
We start with Game Theory from Cameron's Brewing.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Which is from your neck of the woods.
Yeah,
and is a fantastic brewer if you ever happen to see these bottles around. But like Game Theory from New Age IPA, Cameron's Brewing. So it's got this Space Invaders arcade box right on the machine, right on the can. Level up your taste buds with this bold, modern IPA. When you reach your next checkpoint, get ready to unwind the Game Theory's winning strategy. Necroton and Moduipka hops. Okay, I got that off, but let me know how bad in the comments. That enhance your enjoyment and elevate your adventure. So it is a hoppy. So they're calling this a New Age IPA as opposed to IPA or New England IPA. Mild, so it's got a bit of that kind of, I would almost say, citrusy type of flavor, and it tends to like blunt the hoppiness to it, the sort of grass part of it, and it's quite refreshing, really enjoyable. So I've not had many. I don't know that I've ever had a bad beer from Cameron's, and this keeps up the trend. So imagine that. Hey, dear wife, could you pick me up a couple interesting beers for my podcast? And she shows up with this one.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Again, around my neck of the woods, so I will have to swing by and pick this one up because that is like again podcast theme. That's perfect.
Oh, it's beautiful. I would appreciate if you did, and then drank it on the show, like next episode.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't bode well with citrus, but we're gonna try it out.
I'm saying hint. Like
Okay, hint. All right. All right,
it is not an orange beer. It's not orange juice with beer in it. It's
right.
Like it's me trying desperately to grasp at straws to describe beers. So,
Okay.
hey, so big thanks to my wife and kudos to Cameron's again. As always, send your beer picks in at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. Next up, I got described for me, Jeff, your reasoning behind you doing what you did. Because I got a package that just arrived at my house. I was like, what's this about?
I mean, okay, so this was kind of in the pipeline for a bit, and it was something that, because your birthday's coming up, and I thought we've done this podcast for quite a number of years, and we
only 10,
right, just only 10, only a decade, only a
quick decade of shows.
Yeah. So I thought I'd do something for you and send it your way, and you almost screwed it up by taking off for the weekend, but we'll sidestep that fact. It did make it. It did get to you. So yeah, just a preemptive fun, I think. So
yeah. So I have not seen it. So we're gonna do a live. Unfortunately the packaging did say where it's from, so I had a idea what it was, but I still have not seen this thing. So we'll do these. See if I can get some paper crumpling on the microphone. This is great for audio podcast, by the way. Just like I'm opening the packaging now. It's a soft brown. Small piece of the tape.
To update the hashtags.
Oh, you didn't. Oh my God. Tell me you got yourself one of these too. That is so dope. Are you kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, from the fine folks at Anchor Valley.
So I did.
You did too. Yes. Yes.
So it's not quite just you, but yeah, it's.
Oh my God. So friend of the show, listener of the show, Anchor Valley, makers of stunning wood artwork and gaming themed and otherwise, sports, everything else. That's at anchorvalley.ca. Jeff had previously featured I think it was a Mario piece that you had gotten from them.
Yeah.
Like these gorgeous woodcuts. Jeff has gotten our podcast logo.
We made it. We did it.
God, that is so gorgeous. Oh my word. Man, we got to sell these.
Yeah, they're so good, right?
That was this is so crisp. My Lord, it is so. What's nice about it is that, and again, this is an audio podcast, but you have to imagine a wood disc with our logo cut into it.
Yeah, yeah.
But the line work is absolutely stunning and fantastic. This is exactly our logo, the logo of a podcast we've had now for 10 years.
Yeah.
My word, man.
Yeah,
God, it's just so precious. I can't thank you enough, man. This is amazing.
No, you're welcome. No, they again kind people to deal with too. Just to they provided different designs on what they could do and what could work with their machine, and they managed to get it to you with no issues. So again, thanks to them, and you have fun. We'll have to put this up in the background where everyone can see it all the time, right?
Every time we record, this has got to be in the back. I'm gonna take my ear out for a second so I can get it there for the rest of the show. 1 sec.
Yeah. I don't have I need to redesign this wall. Maybe we'll put it up here. There you go.
Oh, that's so dope. Oh my God.
There you go. Yeah, there. Official podcast now. Look at that.
Look how good that looks.
Swag going merch.
Brother, thank you so much, man. That's amazing. No, it's been an absolute joy for the past 10 years, and it's gonna be the next 10 years. Cannot wait.
Yeah, for sure. We've come a long way from little babies and toddlers and changing diapers up until now. So
the announcement of my second on the show, I would have been 2 years in, because we started with my first, and then, by the way, we're pregnant. We're having a second. Yeah. Oh, that's stunning. That's fantastic. So thank you to Anchor Valley. Again, everybody, take a look at their stuff. They just do some gorgeous pieces. Charming, warm, and just of incredible quality. So thanks so much for anchorvalley.ca. Amazing stuff. Now, I wanted to follow up on a story from last week where my kids had mentioned to me that like, oh, like, it'd be cool is that perhaps we could go half on a PS5.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, that is such a fantastic excuse to get a PS5 that I don't need. This is amazing. So they would put in half, I'd put in half. This is going to be amazing. And then they they pulled the last minute switcheroo and they said, you know what? Instead, we'd prefer to have a metal detector.
Like one does, right? Like,
Pardon?
Yes. Sure.
Never in our life have we discussed this, but okay. And now, we recently came back from a camping trip, and another thing I'll talk about in a little bit. We used the heck out of this metal detector.
Good.
They found an earring. They found a couple coins. An absolute
Yes.
ton of nails on the beach, which is really concerning.
That is concerning. But
sort of-
safety features now, you're
kind of
pulling
did a
them up.
public service. That's sort of
Yeah.
nice. Like, if they took it that way. So they're having an absolute blast. And we
Okay.
come home from camping, and damn it, Jeff, if the first friggin' game that they get into is not a metal detecting game on Roblox. Jeff, look at me. Metal
I don't-
detecting game on Roblox.
Oh my god, I saw a purchase in the store shop on the video we're watching. Okay, okay, the one question I have just top of mind before like you kind of get into it. What came first? Did this game come first and they're like, you know what, I want a metal detector? Or like, oh, I was really interested in the metal detector, now I want Roblox to kind of mirror what I like in life.
Precisely like that. So we
Okay.
started with metal detecting. They got this
Okay.
taste for it in real life. We had some good successes out there on the beach.
Okay.
And then now it's like, well, because I'm such an astute metal detector, I of course need to continue and practice my craft in the world of Roblox as well.
As one would, yeah. Okay. Wow. All
Yeah,
right.
and the whole time it's just I am super happy that especially for them to have a passion that's in the real world.
Yeah.
I love that type of stuff, and I always like to support it. I just like to support their flights of fancy because I don't know, much like the speech at the beginning, I don't know who or what they're going to be, right?
Right. Yeah.
So if they want to do archery, if they want to do skateboarding, if they want to do, I don't know, like pick your point within reason, of course. Like I'm not dropping
Yeah.
$1,000 a week on whatever they think of next, but within
Right.
reason, if we can sort of let them try some stuff out and see what they might enjoy, awesome. And it was super cool to see this, like, that they bought the metal detector with their own money, but then they used the heck out of it.
Yeah.
But now I'm watching them use this, and I cannot help selfishly to think a little bit. It's like, you guys chose this instead of a PS5. I don't know where I went astray in my gaming parenthood, but this is a weird timeline to be part of.
I would have been blown away walking into the room playing this game. I knew Roblox had tons of, games on the platform, but not necessarily like a dictionary of everything under the sun. You're like, yeah, metal detector game. There's absolutely that. And if you want to catch grasshoppers, there's that game too. Go over here.
Okay. We're going to do this now. So I want you, don't think too long. Think of a thing. Think of an activity.
Okay.
Quick. Don't think. Just think of an activity.
Oh,
sorry, say it at my mic. Yes, Jeff, for our audience at home, I'd like you to just imagine it in your head.
Bro, I was wondering, I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, let's say, they won't have this, but let's say, those big wheels, the big wheel. So riding a big wheel, let's say,
like a penny farthing, or like, what do you mean?
No, like not like the old school, like the Hot Wheels one with the big wheel, or let's say,
okay, oh yeah, so it's not Hot Wheels. I'm trying to think of the exact name. I know what you mean. It's like, you mean the battery powered, tiny cars.
Let's
battery
see if there's
powered Power Wheels. Okay.
Power Wheels. Yeah, it's like
Roblox game Power
Wheels. Yeah.
There's no official Power Wheels game on Roblox. There's several games that allow players to drive and interact with toy-like vehicles. Hot Wheels Open World, 8-driver car racing and drifting.
Oh, so there is. They're just not licensed, obviously.
Yeah, you got the skin that gives players random power, spin the wheel. Okay, mostly get into the wheel types thing. Okay. I was curious how close we'd be able to get around. Yeah, specifically ultimately, I'm just trying to get to the point, like whatever you can fancy, there is a Roblox version of it.
That
Also,
is nuts.
any IP that could be ripped off mercilessly, guaranteed on
Sure,
Roblox.
sure. Yeah, why not, right? Yeah. Okay.
So I'll say that I wasn't surprised too much. And then like the thing too with metal detecting, it just works perfectly for the nonsense loop that they try to get you in, as far as like, okay, you have this power of metal detector, but if you find some gold and trade it in,
Yeah.
you can then get a more powerful one. Oh, you want to hurry that up? You can give me some Robux, yada yada yada, and away we go.
Just looking at this, like, it's kind of what's I'm no shade against Starfield, but when Starfield came out and you had to scan to just find stuff, I'm like, I don't know. Oh, you have to dig down. Okay, sorry.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's better than Starfield. No.
I hope they enjoy both metal detectors.
Hey, good. I'm glad they're doing it. Just like, as I said, me watching it is basically me just not playing any PS5 game. It's like you've chosen this, as opposed to Astrobot. That's what this game represents. This is just how we're going to live my life now. Started seeing this.
Sorry, I'm taking pleasure in.
Yeah, that is quite right. Now, you mentioned Starfield. Cannot resist that transition. What I had noticed listening back on some of the episodes is that I think twice now I have mentioned Elite Dangerous or Spacefaring in the intro poem.
Right, yeah.
And then not delivered. Let's talk about
yeah, what are you doing?
So what I wanted to speak of is, like, longtime listeners may remember that for a few, there was in Elite Dangerous, there is a community run event called Distant Worlds.
Okay.
Where basically, in Elite Dangerous, spacefaring sim, like one of the biggest, like greatest ones, you have sort of occupied space, a bunch of like systems like that are fairly far apart, but like have station, but then you go way out into the black and there's just like nothing there. So Distant Worlds was this fan-made event where basically, hey, let's all get together at this station, and then we're going to spend a month getting to like this station. Now, why a month? Because it takes that long to actually get there. Like, it is a commit. You need to fly an hour or so, like a day, in order to actually arrive on time, because there's checkpoints all throughout. At the checkpoint, there's like community events, like, okay, well, here we're going to do like buggy racing, here we're going to do some dog fighting, here we're going to like, do some asteroid mining. So all these events along the way. So it's like this month-long event. There's a website and you sign up and you put in your code. Like, people have like fleet carriers. So there's a huge spaceships, think Death Stars, that you can kind of dock into. So they're going to be helping each other out. And it's just this entire thing. You can squadron up and go.
Wow.
I failed on the previous Distant World thing. I gave it a good effort, but just got busy, could not like commit, and next thing you know, wasn't making it.
Right.
This is the first one they've run. I think this is the first one in like anywhere between 3 to 5 years. So I'd like to try it. I would really like to try to get going. So the entire thing about the poem was just my stated intention to participate in the Distant Worlds in Elite Dangerous. It begins in January, so I have a bit of time to train.
I was about to say to train to get your routine in order so that you can pick up with the fleet in January. No, that sounds like a good time. I mean, you love these space trucking kind of journeys, right? So if you can sustain it and actually like make it, the month, if that's what it's going to take, and then report back, or I'd be interested to see how far you do get and report back. Just be like, you know what, life's happened and I'm out in space. I had to drop it.
What is tempting with Elite Dangerous, because they in game, it's a little bit pay to win in a way, but that's it's an MMO, so it is what it is. But what they have introduced recently is just paid ships, like pre-built ships.
Okay.
Now, previously you could buy credits, and then you could take those. Obviously, you could just take, as opposed to earning it in game, you could just buy a whole bunch of them and then just buy yourself the biggest, baddest ship. Away you go.
Right. Yeah.
But what they've done with these ships is that you can just buy custom built ships for particular activities. So this particular one is great for mining, and like this one is great for fighting, and this one's great. But there's some, for instance, that are this one is great for exploration, as in like it does big, huge jumps, and like you're able to. It's got a fuel scoop, so you're never going to get like lost, and it's got better tracking, those type of things. It is tempting because it's been a while. Because there's two ways to go about this. It's either that role play, and as spacefaring dad, I'm going to scoop around and make sure I get a ship that's going to be able to handle the rigors of this upcoming journey, or I just pay $12 and I get a ship. That's just already done.
I mean, you have the means to kind of get you started and cut down some of that prep time that you might lose out on the actual journey if you're like, man, I did all this work. I'm trying to get up and running here, and I'm done.
I think it's just good for me. I think it's going to be the ripcord.
Yeah. Okay.
Where it's like pay $12 and pull shoot. Because if I get up to the date and I've not played any Elite Dangerous and I don't have any ship that's possibly solid for this adventure, I could just do it that way. But I think it'll be fun that at sometime in the fall, try to get back into the game a little bit, and for leading up to the event, spend some time in game and try to prepare a ship that's going to be able to do this mission. We'll have to see.
Oh, I'm excited for you. I hope it happens. I've been looking forward to this all year.
So that we'll see how it comes around. This is January. If any gaming dads are doing it, let me know. It would be kind of fun to possibly do some of the legs together. So at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. But this is the type of interesting gaming thing that I think speaks well to the hobby.
Yeah.
Because, this is not, it is a community thing. A bunch of people just coming together to try to like act out something and have a bit of a good time, like a bit of a laugh, like enjoying the time together. So I don't know, it's just so interesting. And then they build these real life things. Like they have these maps and they have these like support sites. Like there's a whole infrastructure, like a literal human infrastructure that goes in to supporting an event in this like fictitious space.
Yeah,
it's just kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah.
Now,
do it, and then do it every year. Make it an annual thing. Kids going camping for a month in space.
In space. Yeah. Okay. So one more for me. I've really been hogging the mic this show, which tends to not go as well for the ratings.
Oh my god!
The more Jeff, the better the show does. Let's put it that way.
No.
So the last one I'll cut because again, like you gave me too good of a segue. What I had to find, and I'd be curious to know if you have ever dispensed advice to your kids, which you then proceeded to use yourself later on. Because specific one, because what happened with me is my kids sometimes will become a little bit sad because we went and we saw some cousins or we saw some good friends, and then that time ends. Like family came to visit, we had this really amazing time, but then at the end they like leave. And especially kind of my oldest, but my youngest as well, they get, just a bit distraught about that. Like it's a very minor grief. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it's lost. So like they're going away. We don't get to see them anymore. And a refrain that I've often used with them is to appreciate that grief. Because what I mean by that, it's a real, not luxury, but it's something to be grateful for, that you can care for somebody enough that you miss them. Right. So it's not, and it's like, you need to feel sad. I'm not trying to tell you to not be sad. I want you to work through it. I want you to experience it, but I want you to also be aware of it and to look at it, to say, how wonderful, how blessed am I that I have people I care about that I can miss like this. Like that's really precious. So I'm going to feel sad, but there's kind of like a niceness to it. There's kind of like a joy in that sadness. So I had to take it myself, because in the last couple of weeks, both of my kids went to overnight camps. So for a week, this house was quiet, and it hit hard. Like it was like I would have been on this show telling you, it's like I cannot wait. Like I'm gonna be outside. I'm gonna get so much stuff done. It's gonna be quiet. It's gonna be somewhere like dad time. And that first night, immediately, it's just like, this house is so empty. I hate this. Like it's like I'm really upset how quiet my house is. But then
Yeah.
I thought about my own advice, where it's like, how fabulous, like how fantastic that when my kids are gone, I'm sad. Because if you think about the inverse, like, oh, thank God those gremlins are gone. This is so much better. Like that's worse. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So that was helpful. It didn't make me less sad, but it just helped me view it in a different lens at like how blessed am I that I can be sad about that type of thing. So it was a matter of me taking my own advice to get me through when my like kids had disappeared for a week going to camp.
Yeah, no, that's again, I think it's something that was a good thing that happened, even though it was, with grief and stuff. Kind of piggybacking on that, like we've always said to our kids when they're upset or frustrated or, angry at something, that we have to get them to name the feeling, right? Because they don't understand what's going on. And both my kids do have ADHD, which creates an issue with executive functioning, and they're not quite focused enough to kind of root out what that feeling is. So we've always said, name the feeling, even if it's like not targeting it perfectly, but name a couple names to it, right? And then you can kind of unpack why that feeling is there. So much to your example is like, yeah, you're sad, but why are you sad? Oh, I miss them. And then like, okay, you miss them because why? Oh, because I want to be with them. I love them. I want them around. And that's when they, you start to kind of understand where that's coming from. And I myself have had trouble, I think, just through upbringing of like not naming my own feelings. So like taking my own advice for my kids and doing it to myself with adult feelings that are very much valid in the same way. I'm like, oh yeah, I should name that feeling and kind of unpack where it's coming from instead of just sitting with it and just, typical ignore, bottle, move on because I've got other stuff to do. That I think was like a situation where I would try to take my own advice and, like, no, let's sort this out. So
yeah. That's really good too. Name the feeling, and then like forces you to like work through it. And then I like that second part too. It's like, why do you feel sad? Well, so I miss them. Why do you miss them? Because I love them.
Yeah.
How great is that? That's wonderful, right? Like, yeah. Right. And again, it's like, be sad. Just be there. Yeah. That's fine, but just
totally
color it. So no, I like your take on that too. That's cool.
Look at us do this. This is great.
Working through. We're opening up carvings. We're like opening up feelings.
Yeah.
Hey, gaming dads, have you ever taken your own advice that you had given to your kids? Reach out to us at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. Let's get into an actual game to wrap things up here. Looks like your kids joyfully started into Grounded 2, at least one of your kids.
Yeah.
And then regret's not the right word, but it's sort of took away from another activity that then had to be fixed up afterwards. Why don't you walk us through it?
Yeah, so my oldest wanted to get into Grounded 2. And for anybody that doesn't know, it's kind of like this, what is it? Like first person kind of survival.
It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids turned into an MMO.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so
you're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
But my 15-year-old played the original with his friend group, and now they wanted the sequel. So they're all like, okay, you need to buy so you can come in and be with us, right? So my 15-year-old drains their Steam wallet to get into this because they don't have Game Pass. I realize it's on Game Pass, but they drain their Steam wallet to get in. They're having a blast. There's great time, and that's fine. But it sets off a chain reaction or a domino effect.
A butterfly,
right?
It flapped its wings this day.
Yeah. So, like, if anybody is a listener of the show, my 15-year-old is also into One Piece card tournaments. And buying Grounded 2, having a blast with their friends, did have some financial issues with they need to pay to get into this One Piece tournament, and they're out of funds because they bought the game. So he's now of age to understand that I can't just go to dad to ask for money all the time for these things. 'Cause we've said that as a rule, like we'll front you some, tournament entry fees here and there, but it can't be like, this is a weekly thing now. So we can't do that. you have to kind of figure out your own way, and then we can do it now and again, right? So he was fine with that. The problem is he's out of funds with the Grounded 2 purchase. So what does he do? Like, and I never would have thought that it would be this much of a push for him to pick up with another friend, go out all weekend, and try to make money. And they were doing it through
Crazy.
origami stands, which is it's like a lemonade stand, but they're making custom origami sculptures for people, trying to sell that as a unique table
There we go.
market, right?
Hustling, yeah.
And then just straight up gardening, like trying to like knock on doors and like, do you need your grass weeded or whatever?
Very
And
apropos of Grounded too, given all the
yeah,
nature theme.
that's a great connection, right? Like perfect. It goes with the theme. It's amazing. So they were out there for like 8-9 hours doing this stuff, which to me is like astronomical effort of like what you like. There's no I want to do this for 9 hours. It's like I have to do this to get the money to get into the tournament of what I want to do. And then they eventually got enough. They went to the tournament. They won a bunch of cards. They came back home happy as a clam. It kind of reinforced and validated the work that they did, which is like
Awesome.
bonus
100%.
for us parents, because if it went the other way, you'd be like, well, you know, work is work, and that's, you know, the world works on capitalist society and whatever. Didn't happen that way. They were happy with their effort. They were happy with what happened, and they were like looking forward to how to sustain this habit, this, you know, this joy of theirs by doing a little bit of the work that they can. So kind of did the work for us, man. Like I've been like dreading that conversation of like, yeah, you need to go and make money, and you have to give up a little bit of your freedom in order to do that, in order to get the things that you want to do. And this is kind of a good first step into it. So
that's amazing, man. Like
yeah.
It's really good to see too, because with ours, like they'll get money from birthdays, or sometimes they'll just do a good deed or help out something, and we'll toss them a bit of money to try to reinforce, like, okay, good money for good work type of thing. And even recently, again, like with like the metal detector thing, as silly as it was, that was that direct connection where it's like, oh, I've saved some money, and I can now use that money to get things that I want. Right. So you start to see those wheels turning. But then also, like, what's kind of nice too is that now that it's spent, like they cannot do other things. Like, you know what I mean? So they've now spent it on the metal detector. So it's like, oh, we'd like one of these. And it's like, how are you going to pay for it? It's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, right. That.
Right. Yeah, not having, it's not infinite. Oh, no.
Yeah.
So again, we tend to be fairly generous, I guess you might say, especially when it comes to things that we think are beneficial. Like a metal, the metal detector would have been weird, because it's like, hey, can you just buy me a metal detector? And it's like, that's wild and random. I don't even know if I like it. Like, I don't like just purchasing necessarily Flight of Fancy, or again, like even if it was like a bow and arrow set, it's sort of like that more feels like I want you to sit on that for a while.
Yeah.
Let that, you know, foment a little bit. And then if you still want it around your birthday or Christmas, like then it's a conversation, right?
Right.
But when they do have their own money, it's just sort of like, think about it. Like, once your money's gone, like it's gone unless you make some more somehow. Yeah. So, you know, think through it. But I do like to see the second half of it with yours, where it's like, oh, I need more money.
Right. Yeah.
So I must now find means to acquire more of this currency, so I may do what I'd like.
Yeah. Right. And they're on the, you know, that edge of when you turn 16, at least in Ontario and Canada, you can actually go get, you know, a part-time job and have a stable amount of income coming in. But until then, you're kind of on your own, figuring out here's and there's. So it's good that they have a stake in what they want to do, because I do the same thing as you do. Like, hey, we'll let you do these things because obviously we want you to have, you know, joy in your life and experience things. But if it seems like on whim, or like there's things that are like a little bit of a luxury item, they're like, well, you need a stake in it so you understand like the impacts, right? You need to know that it can't happen all the time, or whatever. So I don't know, it went over well. I thought this part of this, or this phase of teenagerdom, would be a little bit more difficult in this kind of area, but like, I mean, things can change on a dime. But we'll see where it goes. It was a good first foray into actually like getting out there and making their own money. So
So there's a very famous. So it's good is like, so basically get your kid addicted to One Piece.
yeah.
They will understand the economy and participating in it.
Absolutely.
Which is still one of my favorite lines with from guys that I know that spent way too much on Magic the Gathering, who had said, if you want to avoid your kids getting addicted to drugs, just introduce them to Magic, because then they'll never have any money.
Right.
Like, man, power to you. That's like, happy to see gaming contributing to that type of thing. That is super cool. Hey, everybody, that'll wrap it up for the week. Thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you like the show, you can find us on all the major podcasting networks. You can find us on Google, Spotify, Caster, iTunes, anywhere where you get your podcast. Just search for New Dad Gaming. If you do find us there, something that really helps out the show is to subscribe, leave us a rating, or even a comment. It goes you cannot believe how far that actually goes to just boost the signal to other gaming dads, find out other One Piece strategies. We can compare notes on metal detecting with our sons and kids.
Perfect.
Anything in between, but definitely do that. We would appreciate it greatly. If you have any ideas, if you have a show note, if you have a story you'd like to share, if you have any ideas or questions or thoughts on anything we shared today, interacting with other gaming dads has been by far the best part of this podcast, besides like the wood carvings.
Yeah.
But besides wood carvings, speaking with you all is by far the best part of it. So reach out to us at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. Share anything that you like. Happy to get you on air or just an interaction in between otherwise. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 15-year-old that might be working and a 12-year-old.
Gotta get that One Piece money, man.
You gotta hustle.
Yeah. Remember, everybody, just because you became a dad
does not mean it's game over.
All right. See you next week.
See you later.